Video number 7, Seated Postures Part 2 and Finishing Postures. So we'll add some more seated postures in before we move on to the back bending. So taking a vinyasa from the previous posture, jump through and sit down for Marichyasana A, pose dedicated to the sage Marichi. From straight-legged Dandasana, you'll bend your right knee and place your right foot flat on the floor up next to your sit bone. So the outer edge of the right foot is in line with the outer edge of the right hip. You can extend your right arm as you inhale, reach up, and then exhaling, fold deeply forward and rotate the arm internally. So spinning the arm around, wrapping around the leg, reach the left arm behind your back and try to clasp your fingertips, hand, or wrist. Inhale to lift the chest. You can press that right shoulder against the right shin, or rather the right armpit against the right shin, and then exhale to fold forward along the straight left leg. Reach the heart towards the toes. You can reach your nose to your knee and eventually extend through the upper back and reach the chin to the shin. Ultimately gazing towards the left toe. Inhale, lift the chest, keep that right shoulder pressing against the shin, and then release the pose. Take the vinyasa, cross the legs, inhale, lift the body up, and exhale, jump back, and lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So we'll do the other side. Marichyasana A, second side. Jump through on the inhalation, sit down, and bend the left leg. So left foot flat on the floor, outer edge of the left foot in line with the outer edge of the left hip. Reach forward, rotate, and wrap the arm around, and then wrapping the right arm around, try to clasp the hands. Inhale to lift the chest, and exhale to fold forward. So in these postures, the sit bone of the bent leg is up off of the floor. You can let it lift, but it keeps sort of reaching or sinking towards the floor. Keep that armpit tightly against the shin. Fold forward deeply. Straight leg stays active. Inhale, lift the chest, and exhale there. Release the pose. Cross the lower legs. Inhale, lift the body up. Try to swing through your arms and step or jump back. Keep the body strong and the chest open. Head up as you lower to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. We're going to skip Marichyasana B. It's best learned from a teacher in person. Okay. We'll go on to Marichyasana C. Bending the right leg. Similar position, although the foot can be a little bit closer to the thigh. Here I'm demonstrating a modified version with the right foot next to the knee. This is called Vrikasana. But Marichyasana, we bend the knee, so closing the gap between the calf and the thigh muscle. The foot's flat, and in this one, both sit bones are down. So here's a modification, which I've got the upper arm on the outside of the knee. Ultimately, you want to rotate and wrap that arm around the knee. Wrap the right arm around behind you and try to clasp your hands. So this is called binding, making a bind. You can reach for the hands. Keep both sit bones down. If you don't quite make the bind, just keep trying. Parshvadrishti, side gaze. So we lengthen up on the inhale and every exhale, increasing the twist just a little, turning the head and the gaze to the right. Inhale to release the posture, cross the legs, and pick the body up, swing through, and jump back. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take Marichyasana C, second side. Jump through, straighten the legs and sit down. Bend the left leg so the heel is up close to the sit bone. Right sit bone stays down. Sometimes you can let it come up a little bit while you get into the posture, but then you've got to put it back down again. Okay? Here I'm rotating, wrapping the arms around and clasping the hands. So binding the pose. If that's not possible, just do as I demonstrated earlier with the right Arm bent at 90 degrees and pressing the arm against the knee to help use the resistance to deepen the twist. Parshvadrashti, keep that straight leg active. Inhale, turn the head and release the posture. Cross the legs, pick the body up, try to swing through, and exhale, jump back. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Navasana position. Jumping through, so taking the vinyasa, we inhale, try to swing the body through the arms and come immediately into Navasana, the boat posture. So balancing on the sit bones. Extend the legs, lift the chest, arms extended parallel to the floor. This is Navasana. You can have the shins parallel to the floor if necessary. However, don't use your hands on your legs. Work to develop the strength deep in the core. So lifting up out of the low back, lift the heart. 5 breaths and then cross the legs. Inhale, lift the body up. Exhale, come down. Inhale again, Navasana position. Lift the heart, open the chest. Lift out of the low back, point the toes and squeeze the thighs together. 5 breaths here. And then you can cross the other leg in front, switch sides. Inhale, lift the body up. Exhale, down. Inhale again, Navasana. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Cross the legs. Inhale, pick it up. Exhale, down. Inhale again, Navasana. We'll do 5. 1. It's important to build this core strength. Squeeze the thighs together. 2. Relax the neck. Lengthen through the spine. 4. 5. Switching which leg we cross in front. Inhale, pick it up. Exhale, down. Last one. Inhale, Navasana. Arms parallel to the floor. Fingers together, reach through the fingertips so the arms are active. And inhale, lift the body up. Exhale, jump back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Jumping through, straighten the legs and sit down. At this point, you can practice your back bending sequence. So whether that's 3 half bridges or 3 upward facing bow full back bends or a combination thereof, do that on your own and stay in each posture for 5 to 8 breaths before coming down. After back bending, you can take Paschimottanasana for 10 deep breaths. Use your core strength to exhale and lie down flat. Tonica Mudra. We practice this basin gesture, so almost like a corpse posture or Shavasana, but very active instead of completely relaxed. So the legs are squeezed together and the toes point, and the palms are turned down, pressing into the floor. Lengthen through the whole body and work to find a feeling of concavity or hollowness in the low abdomen. So with the help of gravity, you can drop the abdominal muscles toward the floor. And then Salamba Sarvangasana, shoulder stand. Inhale, lift the legs and lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Support your low back with your hands. So the legs are together, toes point. You want to make sure there's no discomfort in your neck here. If there is, come down and find a teacher to practice with, okay? For now, if there's pain, you can just do legs up a wall with your sit bones up against the wall and your legs at 90 degrees. If there's no pain or discomfort, remember to keep your neck straight and keep your weight in your shoulders and upper arms. As you start to straighten the body, you can work the hands higher up the back. So the fingers are pointing up towards the ceiling. Try to shift your weight from side to side a little bit to get the shoulder blades closer together underneath you and the elbows a little bit closer together, so more towards parallel. There shouldn't be any pressure in your neck. Okay, the back of the head is on the floor and the shoulders are strong. Halasana, plow posture. Exhale. Fold at the waist, so bringing the feet towards the floor. You can interlace your fingers, again, adjusting the shoulders closer together. Extend your arms along the mat and really lengthen through the spine. So lifting the tailbone towards the ceiling, the legs are active, and in Ashtanga yoga, the toes point. Legs together, lengthen the spine, and lift the hips up towards the sky. Still no pressure in the neck. If you feel any pain in the neck, please just come out and find a teacher. Really, you should find a teacher anyway. So inhaling, come up into the shoulder stand again, supporting the back with the hands. And then use your arms along the mat to help you just unroll as you exhale, vertebra by vertebra. Keep the low back on the floor as you lower the legs and lie down. Matsuyasana, we'll do a modification here. So rather than taking the full lotus, which is a more advanced version, we'll just keep the legs straight and together with the toes pointed along the mat as we lift up onto the elbows, arch the back, bring the crown of the head to the floor. Keep lifting the rib cage forward and up, toning up the pelvic floor. And then you can take Uttana Padmasana, extended foot posture. So legs and arms parallel or thereabouts at approximately 40 degrees from the floor, 45 degrees from the floor. So you can see my legs are a little bit high. Ideally, you could lower them a little bit more. It'll be more challenging for the core. Keeping that arch in the back, keep lifting and arching from the rib cage, and then exhale, release the pose and lie down. Hug the knees into the chest, curl yourself into a little ball, and then inhale to rock up to a seat. And now we'll take Padmasana, the lotus posture. So right leg first, close the knee joint, open from the hip by dropping the thigh bone down to the floor. Gently reaching from the inside so that you spin the shin externally, gently pulling the foot up into the crease of the left thigh, and then doing the same thing with the with the left leg. So experiment with flexing the feet here, trying to bring the knees a little bit closer together. This might take some time. You might want to practice the half lotus for a while before trying the full lotus. Take Dena Mudra. This is Padmasana. So all of these postures we've been working on has been largely so that we can sit in Padmasana for seated meditation comfortably for a long period of time. Listening to the sound of Ujjayi breath here. 10 deep, full, rhythmic Ujjayi breaths. Practicing Tristana, the 3-pointed focus of asana, bandha, breath, and drishti, nasagra drishti. Stay for at least 10 counted breaths here. Could be more, could be 25. And then release your legs and take rest. So Shavasana, sometimes called the corpse posture. In Ashtanga, we usually just say, take rest. So lying down, let the feet fall open naturally. Let the palms turn up to the ceiling. It may be nice to yawn or heave a loud sigh to relax the throat. So releasing the Ujjayi breath and relaxing the bandhas and the whole body. Relax the muscles around the eyes and the jaw and the palate of the roof of the mouth. Allow the mind to become quiet and the body to become completely passive. When you're ready to come up, gently start to wiggle the fingers and toes. Bring movement back to the body quite slowly. Deepen the breath. So wiggling the fingers and toes, slowly bringing back movement to the body. You can rotate the wrists and the ankles. Bend the knees one at a time. Stretch the arms overhead. And it's always a good idea to roll over onto your side, generally the right side, with the right arm as a pillow for the head, and just rest there. Coming back slowly, you can open the eyes and press yourself back up to a seat. Thanks for joining me. Namaste.